You're gonna think I'm crazy. Hell, I think I am. Guess it's best to start at the beginning though. 2:13 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 23 of August 2008, in a small American town known as Dead Oak, a local high school was scheduled to leave on a field trip to a nearby dairy farm. Only they never reached their destination. Along their way, their bus blew a tire. It is indicated through eyewitness accounts of survivors that the sun began to set early that day, 4 hours earlier. The driver and Miss Laura Cornell had radioed in to report their location. Flares were set to warn possible passing vehicles. The driver then set about changing the tire when a second tire blew. The driver was unable to call by radio or phone out this time due to a poor signal, as indicated by the survivors. She then decided to leave to find help. The remaining staff teachers, Jonathan Miller, Margaret Kirkson, and Herbert M. Myers, stayed to watch the teenagers. Miss Cornell was never heard from again, and I highly presume that she's dead, even though the department keeps the case open. I digress. Shortly after Miss Cornell's departure, the teacher had decided to have teenagers exit the bus and stretch their legs. Through eyewitness accounts, this is the time that the teenagers began to disappear. When the teachers finally noticed that teenagers were missing, they ushered the remaining kids back onto the bus. At this time, Mr. Miller ventured out to see if he could find the missing teenagers. He was not seen again by anyone on the bus. As a side note, they found what was left of Miller's mangled in the forest not far from the bus. As light began to become darker, survivors recall seeing things in the darkness that were never fully defined. As the flares died out, those things became more aggressive. Soon the bus sides were attacked and finally torn open. Following investigation confirms this. The survivors recall that the things in the darkness began an onslaught where screaming victims were swallowed whole by the darkness, leaving in their wake only silence. They said that they had to stand against the darkness with flashlights and road flares, light from their cell phone. It was indicated that these things fled at dawn. Only 3 students were ever found: Rick Green, Dante Jones, Kobe Brown, and Ryu Corbin. I was on duty that night. Sheriff Deputy Sergeant Adam Baker sent to investigate when the bus didn't return. I repeatedly drove the area in search of the missing, but never found anything until that morning. The only thing I ever found was those kids hiding in the wreckage of the bus. They were rushed to the hospital. My dashboard confirms this. I must have drove past that fucking bus at least 2 times. The bus never appears on the camera, and evidence around the bus suggests that it was never moved. Nothing is known. There are no leads, and the only thing we have is the survivor's testimony. The department will not move forward with any further investigation, and a special FBI branch has been taken over. The town is in denial, ignoring that it ever happened. It makes me wonder, has this happened before? Lately I've begun to see things in the darkness myself. It's only a matter of time before they come. I'm making this recording so that somebody will know the truth.